This week on Moto Octane, will I crash my bike at the first track day I've ever done? Remember to leave feedback, follow us on our social media, and support our Patreon. So pretty nervous right now. Just got to the track a little while ago. Had a friend, I was lucky enough, who brought me along in his truck and kind of gave me some pointers on beginning the track day. So now we're just heading out, and I'm just going to try and warm up the tires, get a feeling for the lines, and kind of just try and have a bit of fun. But nerves are kicking in, who knows what's going on. Really, I didn't even have a suit. I had to borrow a suit. My friend's friend, he brought an extra one along, and made me a little nervous because I was like, is this a bad luck suit? I mean, the guy had crashed in it. I was like, okay, this is the day that the seams are going to break and I'm going to get screwed over. Anyways, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on our social media. Back to the story anyways. So my friend, he also brought along a pair of boots, and I think that's the way you have to do it for your first track day. Don't make too much of an investment. Find one of the cheaper track days. The one thing great about this track is look at all the runoff space. I mean, it's beautiful. You can go for a tour, you know, maybe a little motocross. There's a jump over there, and it gives you a sense of comfort that you have a lot of space. There's no walls or anything like that to deal with. My next track day, I probably won't have the support I did, I guess, this time. So I'll be doing it pure ghetto style, rolling up with my bike in my suit, jumping on the track. During lunch, I'll head over to town, fill my gas tank up, grab a bite to eat, come back, and continue on like that. Just stuff a credit card somewhere, maybe in my boot or something like that, to pay for things. Really, I mean, having the tire warmers and all that extra gear is awesome if you can afford it. But it shouldn't be a barrier to enjoying a track day. The other thing is, if you're polite and you're nice, I found that the community there was very helpful and supportive. Don't try and be a jackass, know-it-all, like just because you read it on Reddit or saw it on a motorcycling TV show, or Snowcat said it, or what's that other guy, Yami knew. You know, don't follow their examples. Try and follow good examples. You know, I had a blast. It's really a great fun activity that you can do with your bike. I don't necessarily think you need to have a sports bike. I mean, the bike that I had is more than capable. I think there's even other bikes, like some of the Triumphs and stuff. I think you could have an awesome time. I mean, there was one guy, he's out there with like, I think an 80s Honda something, but it was a naked bike, and it was pretty cool until it wouldn't start anymore and he had to call it a day. But for the most part, you know, track days are not as dangerous as people make them out to be. It's kind of like, I guess, owning a gun. It's about your mental state and what you're doing with it, and kind of relaxing and using it properly. I think your mental state is the most important thing. I went off the track about 3 or 4 times throughout the day, and like, I just tried to have fun with it. It was a little bit dodgy one time, but other than that, I was just like, oh well, I'm out in the field, you know, like, let's just tour around and then get back on the track here. And I got back on the track, and I didn't kick it into like high gear right away. I just kind of got back into the groove and had a fun time, and, you know, just tried to be respectful of people. I think that's another huge element of track days that, you know, I definitely heard some stories. Didn't see any of it, but like of guys just kind of being closed off and like, who the fuck is this guy? Or you have no business being here. I mean, nobody's a professional driver out there, and I mean, even if they are, they're probably not trying to prove anything. Hopefully, with the weekend warriors, and just especially new guys that are just trying to learn, and even if you're not trying to learn, just have fun. That brings me to a point that I want to talk about. I think it's a big misconception that track days will improve your skill. Improving your skill comes from deliberate and consistent practice. And that's the only way you're going to get better. And the deliberate practice has to be constructive. And so I feel you have to go to a school, whatever you can afford. But I mean, the California Superbike School is obtainable for anybody. It's the premier school. All you need to do is come up with the money. There's no other criteria. So I would highly recommend it, and I'm hoping to go there this year and spend 2 days, because I think those are where you pick up the skills, and then you go to the track day and you deliberately practice those skills, and that's how you become better, faster rider. The other thing is, I do think you become a safer rider on the street, because your sense of speed kind of changes from a track day. You get more comfortable at faster speeds, taking in information. You're more comfortable with what your bike is capable of and how to use it. So in those emergency situations, I mean, braking hard at quicker speeds. You shouldn't ever be going at the speed that you're going on the track. I mean, I'm probably only reaching speeds of maybe 210, not even, say 200 kilometers an hour. We're not talking miles. We're talking kilometers here. And I mean, that's enough to get my bike impounded, probably a $50,000 legal bill, plus the ticket, you know, and who wants that? Especially when it's like, for this track day, it was 130 bucks Canadian. That's pretty amazing. But I digress, and we'll go back to talking about the safety aspect of things. I mean, really, you're in an environment where you're able to kind of test your own boundaries, and that's what it's all about. I mean, you're not going to test the bike's boundaries to what it's capable of on your first track day. I mean, there's maybe one person or two people that believe they do, but in all honesty, you're just really pushing your own boundaries. I think that's where the fun and the personal challenge comes from. And I actually like it so much. I'm trying to figure out a way to maybe race competitively next year in an organization around here. We'll see if it happens. Hopefully it does. I've been researching it, and it's pretty pricey, but you know, we'll build it into the budget and see what happens. Maybe you guys are good to me and support my Patreon. I mean, look, 2 ambulances. What more can you ask for? Anyways, that's... Now, I already told you that on my next track day, will be a little ghetto. Show up, drive my bike there. If it gets wrecked, I'm going to call CEA. Hopefully they'll come pick it up. If not, I'll figure it out then. But I found that when I started looking at motorcycle gear in particular, that you kind of get what you pay for. And you get what you pay for in not just like style or brand name, but you also get what you pay for in safety. It's almost directly correlated, from my personal opinion. The one thing is, you miss out on a lot of great products because you get caught up with some of the bigger names. I mean, for me, I discovered Spidi and I'm going to have a whole thing about it. But Spidi suits to me are the best of the best. Like, I haven't tried the Tai Chi suits, but everything mainstream I've basically tried on. I found that the Spidi suits are phenomenally light. They fit like amazing, and their protection's just out of this world. The quality is just as good, if not better, than Dainese, but they're so much lighter for the price. Even with the gloves, I mean, I've made some bad decisions with some gear. My helmet in particular, I bought a brand new Icon. I really was uncomfortable in it. I had to get rid of it. I pretty much got rid of it for what I paid for it. But then I bought an AGV. I couldn't get a Pista because those are just crazy expensive. So I went with the GT Veloce, which is basically the same helmet, just without a plastic fin. So you pay about anywhere from $500 to $600 for that plastic fin. And if you really need it, which I do recognize the value if you're doing a lot of track time, it probably does stabilize you a little bit. I found a little bit of buffering when I got up to speed, but investing in your gear is basically investing in yourself and looking after yourself, and I think it's fundamentally important, not just at the track, but also out on the road. Just honestly evaluate your life, and if you think your life is worth one of those plastic Icon vests and a pair of shorts, go for it. I mean, you're probably doing the world a big favor by, you know, natural selection. You don't get eliminated. Your genes hopefully will not contribute to the future of society, and the world will be a better place. If you're actually contributing and doing something in life, I'm happy for you and I'm excited, but invest in yourself and buy some good gear. The other thing that a lot of people are scared about when it comes to track days is the actual wear and tear on their beloved motorcycle. I mean, I thought about it. I was like, how long are my tires going to last? The truth is I have S20 Bridgestones right now on my bike. I'm planning on switching them over probably to Q3s, maybe the Q3 Pluses. But I could probably do about 5 or 6 track days at my speed with the S20s before they would even become a question. It seems that way at least. Tires at a slower speed, you're in the first group. I don't think you're going to burn through the regular road tires as quickly as what it may seem. The other thing is, I came home, I changed my oil. I was like, okay, my oil is going to be all dirty. It looked pretty pristine. Like, I had some street kilometers on there, maybe about, I would say, 1,000 to 2,000 street kilometers on there on top of the track day, and there was absolutely no need to change the oil. Now I'm using Moto Q3, I think, and it's a great oil. I have no problems with it. It's just I have to change it a little less frequently than I did, otherwise it's going to cost me a shit ton of money for no reason. Maybe every, I guess, for my speed, 4 track days I might change it, plus my regular riding, or winter, whatever comes first. Other than that, if you just ride within your limit, be chill, kind of just move into things gradually, you'll pick up speed. Start leaning over. Don't worry about chicken strips or dragging your knee or sticking your foot out to take that corner. I don't know what that's for. Some people say it's to slow you down by aerodynamic dragging you in. Other people say it's to block people turning. Anyways, if you don't like push yourself beyond your means, you'll have a terrific time and you'll be able to express yourself in a fun and enjoyable manner. The other thing is, it really helps, and for me it was a big help to have somebody that was a close close friend that was knowledgeable and was very helpful and supportive in kind of getting me through the first track day. Just small things like the process of going to get your motorcycle checked. When I read online what that entails, it seemed like a big process. Truthfully, they made me stop, they looked at my bike, and they put a sticker on it. That was the sum of it. Now, it could have been because my bike looks pristine and brand new, which probably does help a lot, so maybe that's a track tip that you should think about, is keeping your bike pristine. I also have a personal theory about that, which is you spend a lot of money on your bike, and to show respect for yourself and your time, you should take care of the things you spend that money on, because it really does directly translate into what your time is worth. So anyways, my final thoughts are, no matter what the circumstance, if you want to go to the track, don't wait, don't hesitate. Snooch, big shout out right there. But just go and do it. Don't make excuses. I don't have this, I don't have that. Figure out the bare minimum. Get there. Go have fun. You'll realize it's not as intimidating as what people make it out to be. I'm Moto Octane. Go to the track. Have a great time. See you next week.